Today, we'll be getting into some comments from former Hit Row member B-Fab. We'll also take a look at the potential Hardy Boys reunion, who's set to have a major 2022 in WWE, and much more. Let's start things off with Big Fab's comments about WWE contracts not really being actual contracts. To give you more backstory to this entire conversation, let's go over the WWE contracts. If the last few years of releases have taught us anything, it's the fact that no one in WWE is truly safe from being released, and that these contracts aren't technically contracts because WWE can decide to cut ties with someone at any given time and void the contract. Now, if you're a WWE superstar, a pro wrestler, and this is your livelihood, knowing that your job isn't secure and you can go from being on television one day to being cut from the company the next day, that's pretty terrifying. If you're not a Roman Reigns, Randy Orton caliber superstar, or you don't have the title in your possession, it's probably something that runs through your head here and there. And that's just not the case in pro wrestling. That's the case in all other professional sports as well. But in other professional sports, there's things such as no trade clauses, or other things such as guaranteed money, incentives, and other things like that, which can at least add some sort of financial security to your contract. WWE contracts, on the other hand, don't really have all those extra added elements that make it feel secure. You could have just signed this massive 5-year deal with WWE, but if they fall out of love with you, or lose direction for you, they can just cut you from the roster, face no repercussions themselves, and that 5-year deal is now voided. Basically meaning that you just signed a multi-year extension doesn't mean that you're locked in to be in the WWE for multiple years. They can basically decide when you will leave at any time. So that's quite scary as a talent, and it's scary as a fan as well, knowing that your favorite superstars can just be randomly cut out of nowhere. So that's been the big discussion since these massive releases started happening. All of the fans have been discussing if the way they just void contracts like this is the right thing to do or not. One of the recently released superstars felt this entire situation firsthand and was former WWE superstar B-Fab. WWE hyped up Hit Row's debut for weeks. All 4 members arrive on the scene on SmackDown. B-Fab signs a new contract, and everything seems to be going well. Fast forward a few days later, and it's announced that B-Fab was released. From signing a new main roster contract to being released in just a few days is quite hard to comprehend and experience. B-Fab was recently a guest on KNS WrestleFest, and she jumped in on the conversation about WWE contracts and had this to say, quote, "It's a sad situation because I don't even know if you can call it a contract because most contracts have to be worked through to the entire thing till they're finished, you know? So with them being able to terminate whenever, it's kind of more so along the lines of an agreement more than a contract these days. And if you want to live your life, you can't put your life on hold to this agreement because they can change it whenever they want, so it's kind of hard to make decisions for your life and plan for you when you don't really know what's going to happen day to day. So I just feel it's not as secure. It's a very scary situation to put yourself in if, you're putting your all into that and you really want that, just like all of us, me included. It's very difficult to say if it's even worth it, End quote. And she's completely right with everything that she said. There's some pro wrestlers out there that are leaving family behind, traveling overseas to start up their careers and put their lives on pause. And they're doing all of that for something that's not so secure at all. Something that can change on a day-to-day basis, like B-Fab said. So when you look at it like that, it is pretty scary. So maybe if they want to change the name of it from WWE contracts to agreements, then maybe that will be better explaining everything. But when you think of a contract, you think of something that both sides agree on, and something that is extremely difficult to get out of. Maybe it's a bit difficult for the talent to want out of themselves, but as we're seeing it, it's not a challenge for WWE to get out of the contracts at all. But what are your thoughts on what BFAB had to say there about the contracts? Jeff Hardy was released from WWE a few weeks ago for an unknown reason. Everyone sent their best wishes to Jeff Hardy when he was first released, due to all the rumors that were circulating at the time. But Matt Hardy and even Jeff Hardy himself claimed there was nothing to worry about, that he is completely more than fine. So once again, got the confirmation from him that he's okay. The attention has now shifted to his wrestling return. The second anyone leaves WWE, the number one most talked about landing spot is always AEW. But AEW is really being talked about for Jeff Hardy, since his brother, Matt Hardy, is already there. Even when Jeff Hardy was in WWE solo over these last few years, Matt Hardy always discussed that he had a feeling that they would eventually reunite and finish their careers together. And now that Jeff Hardy is a free agent and can go wherever he pleases, the conversation for Hardy Boys reunion is really heating up again. Jeff Hardy was recently asked if there's a chance we'll see a Hardy Boys reunion, and he had this to say during an interview with Metro, quote, "I totally think there is a chance of Hardy Boys reunion. That's what's exciting about it, just being honest. I feel like there will be one more run. I don't know that, but it's like everything I've had visions of in wrestling. It always happened." End quote. It's something that both brothers have talked about now, and it can actually happen if Jeff Hardy does decide to sign with AEW. So it's something to keep an eye on. We may be in store for one last run from the Hardy Boys in the near future. 2022 will be a big year for several superstars. This year is already starting off strong with the current champions. But let's briefly discuss 3 superstars that aren't currently holding a title, but could have a major year this year. First one being Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks is one of the most talked about favorites to win Royal Rumble this year. Not only that, but Sasha is still looking for her first career win at WrestleMania. Could she finally get that win in 2022? That's what we'll have to wait on. Another superstar to keep our eyes on is the returning Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss's return has a lot of hype around it, but also a lot of fear because fans are just hoping that she'll come back with purpose and actual great direction. If Alexa comes back with great direction, great tweaks, and changes to the character, look out for her as well. Hard to believe that Alexa hasn't held a singles championship in nearly 4 years, so look for her to possibly recapture gold this year. Lastly is Drew McIntyre. Drew has been in the news a lot lately, as rumors of Drew vs. Roman start to grow. There's already some live event house shows that are advertising Drew vs. Roman as their main event matchup in early 2022. So look for Drew McIntyre to most definitely re-enter the world title scene in 2022 as well. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.